The FTC is likely to file an antitrust lawsuit to block Microsoft's 69. Good one, Phil. Yeah, good one. $billion takeover of video game giant Activision Blizzard per 3 people with knowledge on the matter. This would mean the FTC's, this would be the largest, FTC's biggest move yet under Lena Khan to rein in the power of the world's largest tech companies. It would also be a major black mark for Microsoft, which has positioned itself as a white knight of sorts on antitrust issues in tech. So Microsoft is going to pick up Activision Blizzard. I find it to be unlikely this will happen. And I find it to be likely that they will acquire Activision Blizzard. I think it'll happen. To be honest, that's kind of bullshit. Where's the capitalism? It's really hypocritical of governments to do this kind of stuff. Here, I want to do something and explain why these things are important, okay? How many, I'm going to ask you, Actifiel, how many ISPs do you have where you live? How many ISPs do you have? Internet service providers. How many different places can you get the internet from? So you say you have 2 main ISPs. How would you feel if the bigger of the 2 ISPs bought the smaller one and then they raised your rates by $40 a month? That would suck, LOL. It sure would. And that's why we have this antitrust shit. Monopolies are not good for any average citizen. They are unhealthy for capitalism. They actively are, they are subverting capitalism by trying to control the market, so they do not have to operate in a free market. Operating in a free market is more expensive. You have to pay for more advertising. You have to pay for better quality products. You have to charge less. This is a good thing that this function exists. Now, is it a good thing that the FTC could be applying this function to Microsoft acquiring Activision? That's 2 different things. But on a fundamental level, the function is a good thing, and it's good for the people. Anyway, so what do I think? I think that they're probably going to let this go through. I don't think there's going to be a lot of bullshit about it. I feel like there are many different companies that provide services like what Microsoft provides and what Activision provides with their gaming stuff. Sorry, it's in my mouth. I do not think that this is going to happen. I feel it's very unlikely. And in the times that things were blocked in the past, there was only like maybe 2 or 3 major players in the space, and then one of the biggest ones buys the second biggest one or the third biggest one, and now there's only 1 or 2. So it seems unlikely that this will happen given how many other competitors there are in the video game, like games as a service space. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But let's see what people say. FTC declined to comment. Central to the FTC's concerns is whether acquiring Activision would give Microsoft an unfair boost in the video game market. Microsoft's Xbox is number 3 to the industry-leading Sony Entertainment System and its PlayStation console. Sony, however, has emerged as the deal's primary opponent, telling the FTC and regulators in other countries that if Microsoft made hit games like Call of Duty exclusive to its platforms, Sony would be significantly disadvantaged. I mean, that's true. Like, they're right. They're absolutely right. Yes. But like, how is Microsoft not disadvantaged whenever they make God of War exclusive or Demon Souls exclusive to PS5? Many of these games are only on one console. Like, I don't like this at all. I think this is silly. Final Fantasy, yeah, exactly. Or all the Bungie shit. Yeah, Sony's a bunch of pussies. They're not a bunch of pussies. No. The thing is, Sony is just simply doing this because it's an advantage that a competitor can have. Sony probably doesn't even believe a lot of the stuff they're saying. They're just saying this because it gives them an advantage into space. That's all. This isn't ideological. This is just purely a logistical advantage. Phil Spencer already told Sony that he won't make Call of Duty exclusive too. Yeah, but they could always change their mind. That's not like it's not a binding agreement that Phil Spencer said this would happen. Like, he didn't sign a contract. Like, there could be other games in the future, etc. Like, I think overall, video games being exclusive to consoles is simply not something that is a good thing. Also, I think that exclusive to its platforms, one of the platforms that Microsoft publishes on is the PC. So I think Sony is mainly worried about not being able to sell PlayStations. And my honest opinion about this is that maybe if you're not able to function well and make money with the consoles in the way that they are now, maybe they don't deserve to exist. Maybe let the free market do what it does and let consoles that are basically sold as loss leaders to sell video games to make you buy the consoles, maybe stop doing this. Stop trying to make the government create a fucking mandate that your outdated business model is kept alive through life support through government fucking regulation. It's ridiculous. I only bought PS5 for exclusive. Yes, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, at a certain point, people move on. You talk about free market, the free market moves on. Maybe this is what's happening. In general, I've always had a lot of trust for Sony after what they did following Microsoft trying to make the Xbox One extremely consumer unfriendly. Like, some examples of this are making sure that it's always connected to the internet, making sure that there's a mandatory webcam connected to it, and not allowing you to resell games. And Sony came back and they said, you know what? We're not going to do any of that stuff. And it put Microsoft at such a massive disadvantage in the market that Microsoft had to walk back everything they did. So I actually have a lot of respect for Sony. I'm not surprised they're doing this, but at the same time, maybe your business model is outdated. Maybe you don't need the government to keep it on life support through making the consumers pay more money for no reason. Competition between companies is generally better for consumers. And I think Sony's worried about having to compete. What about all the shit Sony's done recently? I don't have a list of every single action Sony's taken. I'm just saying that I have a generally favorable opinion of them. Sony's buying up businesses as well, just tons of smaller ones to not draw attention. Yeah, every company wants to have a monopoly. You just think about it logically. Like, Microsoft's repeatedly promised to keep Call of Duty available on Sony's PlayStation. Furthermore, the game is not a must-have as Sony says it is. Additionally, Microsoft notes is the game... I mean, again, like, I feel like they're just trying to... They're trying to keep an outdated business model of consoles on life support. Like, am I crazy about this? Because, like, the more they're talking about the reason why they're doing this, that's just what it seems like to me. Let's see here. To a lesser extent, Google is also an opponent of the deal. According to two of the people with knowledge of the matter, the company has argued that Microsoft has purposely degraded the quality of its Game Pass subscription service when used with Google's Chrome operating system, and owning Activision would further incentivize them to do so, ultimately steering hardware sales towards Microsoft and away from Google, the people said. Google is a minor player in the gaming industry and winding down its own gaming service, Stadia. Yeah, Stadia didn't work. However, it's under antitrust scrutiny around the world for conduct in the gaming market. It's unlikely to be a sympathetic opponent. Fortnite maker Epic Games currently suing Google, arguing that it's illegally blocking Fortnite from its app mobile store. As part of the case, Epic recently accused Google of paying Activision $360 million to not offer a competing app store on Android phones. Yeah, I actually really don't like this whole app store thing and how the app stores have so much power. I find this to be extremely problematic. It's too much centralized power among too few people with no real incentives to compete against each other. I do not like the Epic Game Store, or sorry, the iPhone Store, or the Google Play Store, whatever the fuck it is. Blame Steam. Yeah, Steam's kind of the same thing. But yeah, I wish that everything that you did wasn't just all on one place. That's what capitalism always leads to, though. Well, that's why you have governmental regulatory agencies to prevent that from happening. Yes, of course you're right. Wasn't Steam getting sued for something similar? I think it was, yeah, I remember reading about this lawsuit with, like, Epic accusing Google of paying Activision to not have this. Google spokesperson declined to contact, no surprise. FTC concerns, however, extend beyond Call of Duty, and investigators are trying to determine how Microsoft can leverage future unannounced titles to boost its gaming business. Of course, that's what's going to happen. Activision also disputes Epic's allegations. Epic's allegations are nonsense. We can confirm that Google never asked us, pressured us, or made us agree to not compete with Google Play. We've already submitted documents and testimony to prove this. I mean, I don't know really whether I believe that or not. It's hard to say. Steam has way more competition than Apple or Google. If you're on Android, you have to use Google Play. If you're on iPhone, you have to use Apple Store. With PC, you have to have way more options than Steam. Yeah, I feel like that's unfair. Like, basically, this is generally my opinion on companies and the way that they operate. Is that every single company that operates in our economy only exists because the government protects it. If the government did not protect the economy, did not protect this company, people would go into the company building, burn it down, kill everybody inside, and steal all of their stuff. So these companies exist because the government allows them to exist. And if the government did not protect them, they would be gone. So I think in that same vein, every company has to exist for the betterment of the population. And if there is a business model, if there is a type of product, if there is a way of doing business that is unhealthy or bad for the people, then it should not be allowed to exist. That's the reason why. Yes, and so I do think that these types of things should be regulated, because these things are unhealthy for the people. Idealist much? Well, it's not really that much of an idealist viewpoint. I think this is generally what happens. If it was that easy? Well, it's not that easy. That's why we're reading articles about how complicated it is. Nobody said it was easy. Nobody implied it was easy. Super excited the day companies become more powerful than the government. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. How about companies that are supported to prevent other bigger companies that can support themselves by becoming monopolies and controlling entire markets? Well, obviously that's bad. But what I'm saying here is this. I'm saying that I do not find it a good thing that you can only use the Android store if you're on an Android, and you can only use the iPhone store if you're on an iPhone. I think that this monopoly is not healthy for consumers. It gives the people that have ownership over these markets too much power. And at the end of the day, it's bad for the people. So it shouldn't exist. That's all there is to it. I do think that the deal will go through, and I think that it would be good and advantageous for Activision if Microsoft bought them. I think it would be very good in general. So I hope it does happen. That's generally what I think.